Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so starting over. I think for me personally, I've been a big fan of starting over things. Um, in my early 20s, like when I was 21 and 22, I thought whenever life gave me choice to start over, I got overwhelmed. I thought maybe I don't know what I want in my life. Maybe it's because of me or my choices or something I'm doing wrong. Because everyone around me, at least that's what I felt, that everyone around me knew what they wanted to do in their life, and that too very early on. Like in the beginning, if I talk about how my trajectory of life been, um, I thought I would be be an interior designer by now, and then it shifted to being a psychologist. But none of those things ever happened. Forced to start my life over multiple times. And not that I'm in the middle of my 20s. I'll be 25 by the end of this year. I have started over quite a few times. I know a lot of people know when to leave, when they think that their purpose is fulfilled in their particular job or in particular arena of their life. I personally never knew when to leave. Honestly, I I used to be stuck in a job or particular internship or anything for that matter until Allah forces me to quit or to move on, which is so bizarre to think about. Like, for example, recently I was forced to quit my job, which I never anticipated to do. Um, but then after quitting my job, I landed up two good opportunities, which I never actually thought of doing in my life. Um, I was always interested in content creation. I was always interested in photography, and Alhamdulillah, I got the opportunity to do both of those things, um, which is so insane to sometimes think about, because honestly नहीं मालूम था मुझे कि um, मुझे कभी भी ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी करने को मिलेगी, लाइक एवर इन माई लाइफ, एंड दैट टू इन योर mid-20s when everyone around you is doing something that they have started very early on. They have continued to be in that particular profession up until now. I don't think a lot of people I know have changed their trajectory that much, which makes me think sometimes that maybe what I'm doing might be unconventional, and it is overwhelming at times, definitely. But I have come to love starting over. I love when I have to meet new people or change my working space. In my life, what I have realized is that the fear of starting over is so overwhelming, especially when you are in your early 20s, because it is very expected of you to pick a profession and stick to it throughout your life, and you never think about changing it. I don't think so, like ever. But for me, alhamdulillah, I did have privilege. I did have freedom to change, to pick and choose my profession however I want to, and change it whenever I want to. I had no as such expectation from any of my parents. For me personally, I love Sundays. I love when I have to reset things for coming up weeks. I love mornings. I used to be a night person, but now I absolutely love mornings. So maybe I am a starting over person, or person who loves new beginnings. Now I look back in my early 20s, I think, she was such a baby. She did not know anything. But of course, when I turn 30, I look back to this clip or maybe this version of myself, and I'll think she was a child. She did not know anything. And now, when I think about it, there are a lot of things that I'm afraid of course. But starting over is not one of those anymore. I think that whenever whatever happened in my early 20s, and I know I'm still very young to say that, but my nervous system is more regulated now than what it was in my early 20s. I did not know how to handle changes. I did not know how to handle um, not reaching my potential or not meeting my expectations. But now, when I think about it, when I have to start over, I have to start a new job, I have to start a new, say, career, I I feel much more comfortable doing that now than it was before, of course. And I have to thank her for that, because no matter how anxious it was, she did it. She did go through it. Growing up, I was never a very hopeful or a very optimistic person. I used to think if I remain pessimistic about things, nothing can ever disappoint me, which was obviously not true at all. Things did end up disappointing me a lot of times, and of course, I had to unlearn that. And now that I'm more hopeful about things, whenever I have to start over, um, I find it more comfortable and I'm more excited about it, just because I had to shift my way of thinking. I have to be more hopeful, so that I know how to be present at the moment, because everything is so temporary.
If life was nothing but green lights and we didn't have yellows and reds, things that make us pause, hardships, crises, times for introspection, then what the hell would it all be for? We need the yellows and the reds. That's how we evolve. That's how hopefully there's some ascension to our being. That's how we give some credit to time and growing older. If anything, I would say to my 15-year-old self, go fail more.